This lesson covers graphing linear and nonlinear relations. And something to keep in mind when we're doing this is that when you're looking at a table of values, if the first differences are equal, that means the relation is linear. Otherwise, the relationship is nonlinear. So when we have a relation written in this way, it doesn't really look like the y equals mx plus b that we're used to, so we might not immediately see that this is a linear relation. But whatever the equation is, we can complete a table of values. So in order to do that, let's start with x equal to minus 1. So we'll substitute that value into our equation for x, and then we can solve for y. To fill in the next spot on the table of values, we do the same process, except this time x is 0. And now to find the next value of y, x is 1. You can complete the next value of y when x is 2, and the next y value is from when x is 3. Is the relation linear or nonlinear? To figure this out, we're going to look at the first differences. So I need to find the difference between each successive y value. That might be a little bit easier for you to do mentally if you switch all the improper fractions to mixed numbers. So as I travel from 2 2/3, I'm decreasing down to 2, while I'm going down by 2/3. From 2 to 1 1/3, I'm decreasing by 2/3. From 1 1/3 down to 2/3, I'm decreasing by 2/3. And from 2/3 down to 0, I'm decreasing by 2/3. So the first differences are all equal. That means this is a linear relation. Graph the relation. Well, I'm going to use this grid here. We're going to use 1 square for each unit. So x is minus 1, y is 2 2/3. So when x is minus 1, we're over here. When y is 2 2/3, we're going up 2 2/3. We're here. When x is 0, y is 2. When x is 1, y is 1 1/3. When x is 1, y is 1 1/3. When x is 2, y is 2/3. And when x is 3, y is 0, right there. So we've got our points, and now we can draw a line through the points, put arrows on either end of our line, and there's our graph. We're going to do the same process for this next example. The only difference is the equation. This is y equals x squared. So just remember what squaring means. It means you're multiplying x by itself. So when x is minus 2, it's minus 2 squared. That's the same as minus 2 times minus 2, so y is 4. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can complete the rest of the table of values, and then check back here. This is what you should have for your table of values. And if you didn't get that, let me know so I can help. Is the relation linear or nonlinear? Well, let's take a look at our first differences. From 4 to 1, we're going down 3. From 1 to 0, we're going down 1. From 0 to 1, we're going up 1. From 1 to 4, we're going up 3. So you can see the first differences are not equal. So this is nonlinear. Take a moment and try to graph this table of values on the grid. This is how it should look. And you can clearly see, because this is nonlinear, you can't draw a straight line through all the points. What you're going to end up with is a curve. Try example 3 on your own. Be mindful of the equation x squared, but then also minus 2x. So pause the video, determine the table of values, figure out if it's linear or nonlinear, and then graph the relation, and see how you do. you should end up with this. A lot of people might get mixed up when they have a negative value of x and they're squaring it. So that'd be -1 times itself, so that's +1. But then here, -2 times -1 is +2. So you have 1 plus 2 is 3. This next example has an equation that looks a little more complicated, but why don't you pause the video and try to complete the table of values, determine if it's linear or nonlinear, and then graph the relation. So I showed the first one for you when x is -2, just so you can see what I did. Anyway, I turned all the improper fractions into mixed numbers so that it's easier to see the first differences. From here to here, we're going down 1/3 every time. Since the first differences are all equal, this is a linear relation, and I have a graph like this. Now, sometimes when you're given an equation and you're asked to graph it, you might not know what to do. Like this one, the square root of x, and you might not be given x values in your table of values. So that just means you get to create whatever table of values you want. So for this one, you can put in any x values you want here. But just be careful, since we're taking the square root of x, can x be a negative value? No, it can't. You can't take the square root of a negative number. Try it in your calculator. You won't get any answer because there's no number that when you square it, you get a negative. It just doesn't work that way. So the lowest you can go here is 0, and then you can have any numbers you want for x. Once you've done that, complete your table of values by using your equation, and then determine if it's linear or nonlinear, and make a graph. So I chose to do 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 for my x values because that would fit nicely on my graph that I have on the screen. Square root of each of those, the differences are not all the same, so this is nonlinear, and we can see that in the graph. It's a curve. So to finish off this lesson, why don't you try making a table of values, determining whether it's linear or nonlinear, and making a graph for this equation. So you can choose any x values you want. Here's how I got the y value for the first one. Do the same thing for the rest, and you'll see your first differences are all equal. So that means this is linear. When you make your graph, it'll look like this. Now you can see some of the points that I chose don't actually fit on the grid that I have on the screen. Only these 2 points can be shown on the grid I provided. But your line should still be in the same spot as mine. So I know this was very repetitive, but it's just more practice making a table of values using an equation, using the table of values to determine whether or not you have a linear relation, and then using a table of values to make a graph.